Hey everybody, this is Alzorath, and welcome to the August 2018 update. I think we may be finally settling into a standard format for these, but don't quote me on that just yet. There might be some changes coming in the near future, we'll just have to see. But we're going to hit it off with this month's series updates, alongside with a little bit of news about the schedule shifts, and then move on into the usual rambling about Vita Gaming, Patreon, Discord, Twitch, etc., and then we'll wrap it up with the Q&A. On the series front, you have probably noticed that the times are shifting around a little bit. There may be a little bit more of that coming over the course of this month as I decide how to focus the channel a bit more without having to abandon the genres that I enjoy. So you'll see the time shift around maybe a few hours earlier or later, maybe a day either way. Like we'll have 2-day gap and then we'll switch it into like having it be the odd days rather than the even days. That kind of stuff. You may see that shift around a little bit, but don't expect a whole lot of it. It's just going to be a little bit here and there as I figure out how to get this focus so you can actually just tune in whenever you want to see action RPGs, strategy, whatever. That's pretty much what we're going for on those. Just don't be surprised by it. All of the series will continue and we will be taking them all the way to the end, so yeah. That's what you can expect from those. As far as the specific game stuff, on the action RPG front, we'll be finishing off the Warrior Princess Diablo 2 run, and we'll be starting up the Charge Boltrus run towards the end of the month. And there's about a 75% chance that Grim Dawn will be making it into the rotation as well. It'll basically be on the non-Diablo days, if that makes sense. I'm also looking at other action RPGs to mix in later as well, so suggestions are welcome, though I do have a list of about a dozen or so that I can do if there are no specific requests. Yes, Path of Exile is on there, as well as a few older ones that some of you may not actually know about, so we'll see how that goes. On the strategy front, we'll be finishing off Hard West for sure. I'm not going to be doing the expansion because I ran into some serious pathing issues on it. Basically, the AI would get stuck a lot. And I mean an irresponsible amount. So yeah, I finally gave up on trying to record it after umpteen times of that happening on one mission and a bunch of times happening on previous missions, but I somehow got through those. Could not get through this one. That was really driving me nuts. But maybe it'll come back in the future. Maybe I'll find a way to fix that. Maybe I'll figure out what was wrong with my system at the time or something. I don't know. But for now, with how little interest there is in the series, I'm not going to kind of list it as a priority. Instead, we're going to be moving on to the next strategy series, which is going to be the Harebrained Schemes Shadowrun trilogy. It was tied with StarCraft as far as the votes go for strategy series, so I'm going to go with Shadowrun trilogy first because I haven't played it all the way through. I've played part of the first one. The other two I haven't touched, and I do know there is a small, I want to say 6-hour campaign bonus one on the Hong Kong one. So there might be a Shadows of Hong Kong edition to that. So yeah, it's Shadowrun Returns, Shadowrun Dragonfall, and Shadowrun Hong Kong as the trilogy. I may throw in the old Genesis or Super Nintendo Shadowruns, but probably not this month, because it's not something that's going to take just 1 month to do. They're fairly decent games as far as length goes. So we'll see how that goes. As far as StarCraft goes, it's going to be a little bit further down the line. I might end up throwing it in say Shadowrun on even days and StarCraft on odd days. I'm also looking at Metal Fatigue to kind of go with the StarCraft thing, but we'll see how that goes. And that's what we're looking at on that, but that's months and months out, so don't expect it in the very, very near future. As far as, actually, speaking of polls and how those kind of came about, that brings us to actually our third major slot. I have put a poll up on Discord, and there will be a poll on this video, and I will be putting a poll on the Patreon as well. Basically, it's for RPGs. It's our third slot. It is... Right now we have a CRPG, which is Pillars, and we have a JRPG in Trails. I am thinking about having it just be all JRPGs in one slot and then moving the CRPG to possibly maybe in the short game slot. I know that's a weird and kind of contradictory spot for it, or it might even go into the strategy slot. We don't know for sure, but I would like to actually have 2 JRPG series going because there's a lot of those I want to cover, and they'll take a long time to cover. So yeah, having more of them going at once is probably a good thing. So yeah, you can see the full list over on the Discord. I am going to try to include all the options on YouTube's poll, but I'm not sure if it can hold all 6. So we shall see. It's for entire franchises. So yes, this is going to be a fairly big thing, and the reason I'm having the vote so early is because I want to be mentally prepared for it. I probably won't get started recording it until after we finish Pillars to begin with. So yeah, just got to get mentally prepared for it, got to get psyched up for that particular franchise, that kind of stuff. And the fourth and final series note is going to be the short game thing that I mentioned a little bit earlier. That is actually a slot. It's going to be the earliest slot of each day, and they are going to be released daily whenever I release them. I'm going to try to release them between series. I'm going to record them a little bit ahead of time and actually have them prepared so I can just drop them in between series so we actually have a similar number of videos going up each day. The short game slot for this month is going to be Inside. It's going to come up between the 2 Diablo series. Should happen towards the end of the month. And I think most of you already knew I was recording Inside because I've mentioned it before. I'm not sure what game I'll be doing the month after this. I have a short list, but there's always room for recommending more of them because they're short games. Can finish them in a weekend. Yeah, having more options is always good. So I can have more recorded in the backlog. But I have like maybe a half dozen to a dozen or so set up just in case there are no suggestions. The main criteria I have for them, though, is it has to be a 5-hour blind play or less. Basically, I do want to be able to beat it in either a day or two. That's the entire goal. That you may have noticed that with the previous ones. Other than that, pretty much any genre, any style, or whatever is fine. They just have to be short games. Only thing I would probably say is if you have to tell me to get good at it, chances are I'm not going to be able to beat that in 5 hours. I'm talking to you, Cuphead. Yeah, don't put Cuphead on that list. I don't want Cuphead, but yeah, I think that's about it as far as series for this month. I may have some more ideas coming up in the near future. I may have some of my side projects kind of sneaking into these updates as well. We shall see. Now, for the non-series stuff, we've got the usual shilling, which is Patreon to directly support the channel, Discord to reach me and other viewers in casual chat, or even just to leave a comment or question that doesn't quite fit with any videos. Vita Gaming 2019 is still on, and I am still slacking on recording for it, which is a very bad idea because I'm going to run out of time really, really quick before next April. And let's see what else. I'm still doing premieres over on Twitch to catch it up with YouTube. Right now I'm doing the catch up on Pillars of Eternity, so if you want to marathon that, and I think they're actually doing a Chrono GG deal. I think I heard it through the grapevine that they're doing one of those on, I want to say the 2nd of this month, 2nd and 3rd. It might be a 2-day deal, but they're doing a deal over there. I don't have a partner link, so yeah, you're not going to be really supporting the channel by doing that. But hey, you can get a good deal on a Pillars of Eternity 2 key, and they are releasing an expansion of it soon. I put in for a key for it, but I haven't gotten it. So yeah, you might see expansion sneak into the normal play, but I'm trying to think what else. And I will be doing the catch-up streams for Pillars of Eternity 2 on the 2nd and the 3rd. So they'll get caught up with the YouTube channel, and then I'll be doing what I'm doing with the Diablo series over there, where I'm releasing about 3 a week just to keep them caught up. Sometimes I'll release 4 to get it caught back up, because I release 3.5 videos a week for each of them. So yeah, you'll have to do catch-up every few weeks. So let's see, what else do we have? I'm looking down the list here, so don't worry if I pause every now and then. Links to all that can be found down below. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else on my list that I need to talk about. So that just pretty much leaves the Q&A portion, which, like I said last time, if there is enough interest in the Q&As that there's multiple submissions, say more than 2. Right now there were 2. So hopefully there'll eventually be more than that. I'll probably throw in some giveaways or something like that to incentivize more interesting questions, so it's not just generic questions. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. Obviously, I'm a small channel, so it's not going to get that massive. As far as the question was, this one was by Tort Tuxedo. He says, I remember you were working on a CCG in Tabletop Simulator. I don't know if you said anything about it elsewhere, but I wondered where you were at with that, or if it's been put on hold. Yes, it has been put on hold. I still do have the notebook for it, and there is a lot more in that notebook than ever made it into a video, or even ever actually made it into Tabletop Simulator. It's on hold right now. I do still have the notes. I do still have the things planned out. I just have to put the graphics and stuff together. I have lost some of the old graphics, so I'd have to redo them, but that's not a huge deal. I can redo them. It's just that whenever I was working on it, I kind of lost motivation on it. There was a lot of crap going on that happened like right after I started doing that. And it was right before one of my absences from YouTube for, I think it was a month at that time. I would have to go back and look specifically, but I was never able to get back into it like how I was. So it might be something I pick back up for one of the side projects I'm working on. We shall see. Or I might just be dropping that and moving on to something else that I want to do. I do want to finish a CCG. Only thing I've ever done as far as tabletop stuff is actually create kind of like a Hero Quest style game and a few things like that. So yeah, I haven't ever made a complete CCG by myself. I have modified some, but that's an entirely different discussion. So that is the question. If you guys have any other questions, be sure to put them down below and I will be glad to answer them. If there's a lot of questions, I might answer 2 or 3. And if there's a lot of questions, then we'll have to start doing the giveaway thing so I can actually choose like a winner of questions and then answer a few. But anyway, Tulka question, because I do have an entire document full of these. That's like 50 some odd questions, I think. His question was, if the sun vanished suddenly, how would you react? My answer is, I'm not sure. I'm inside so much I'd probably be in the dark about it for a while. But give it a few months and I'd probably be pretty chill about it too, just like everyone else on the globe. So if you guys can stand my puns, and you guys enjoyed this, and you guys felt this was informative, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on, well, the next channel update in a month, or on the next video you guys decide to watch. So, yeah, hopefully the puns are tolerable. Keep gaming, have fun, peace out. This has been Alzorath. Bye.